Hey, what's going on everybody? A lot of people who start Puzzle and Dragons usually ask me for tips on what monsters they should try and get. So I figured I would make a video of one of the most common things I tell newer players. We are going to talk about Echidna, a very good monster to have and one who makes an appearance on a lot of teams. Echidna evolves from Naga, who can be found very early in the normal dungeon list in either Volcano of Vulcan, the Flame Snake Woman map, or the Fire Force Nerva Fire Worshipping Snake map. And we can even go to Pad Guide and look up Naga and find out which all dungeons she drops from. But Volcano of Vulcan and Fire Force Nerva are the two earliest points in the normal dungeon list where you can get her. Volcano of Vulcan doesn't have an enhanced drop time frame, so I usually tell people to farm Naga in Fire Force Nerva when it is on enhanced drop. This will be at different times for everybody since different players are in different groups. They're randomly assigned to different groups depending on their ID, but also with Pad Guide you can go to the settings and type in your ID at the top and it'll select your group for you. So it's a pretty good tool to find out which group you're in, and it'll also set the times. Like for example, I'm in Group E on the eastern coast. So Fire Force Nerva's 1.5 drop rate for me is Mondays at 11 o'clock to, 7 o'clock in the evening? Something like that. I know a handful of players who have farmed 2 Nagas in the same day in Fire Force Nerva. But if you are already past the early dungeons and don't have Echidna and don't want to waste stamina on a weaker dungeon, perhaps it would be better to wait for the Scarlet Snake Princess special dungeon to show up, which is the special dungeon that people farm for Echidna skill ups. So for now, Scarlet Snake Princess is the map to farm if you want to max skill your Echidna. Speaking of the skill, let's talk about that. Echidna's active skill, Menace. This is the reason why we like Echidna. This skill delays all enemies on the screen for 3 turns, so it sets their attack timer back by 3 turns. This active skill allows you to get around tough spots in dungeons, and it also allows you to charge up the active skills of your team. Even if the enemies on the current round are easy to kill, you can use her delay, then match one set of orbs for the next 3 turns, and then combo and kill the enemies like you normally would. A lot of times you would use her delay against the boss of the dungeon to get 3 extra turns to kill it, and that is the usual tactic for most of the normal dungeon bosses. One guy at my local hobby shop was saying how he doesn't use Echidna anymore because a lot of the Descend bosses put up a preemptive shield to block the delay before you even get a chance to use it. Then he went on to say that Echidna is useless because of that, but in actual gameplay that statement couldn't be further from the truth. Even if the boss does put up a preemptive shield, Echidna's delay is still super valuable to bring along with you because it lets you stall for 3 turns on any of the previous rounds. If the situation looks grim, Echidna's delay serves as a great safety net. If your health is very low and it looks like the enemies are going to kill you, use the delay and heal back up. Echidna's high recovery stat is one of her best perks, and it will help out a lot with the healing. Again, those extra turns will count towards the cooldown of your monster skills, as long as you match at least 1 set of orbs per turn. So now that we have gone over her delay and how useful she is, we can skim through my teams and see how many I currently have Echidna on. First team's a Sonya team. Echidna's not ran on that, but I run her on my Horse team. And then Zeus teams actually can run 2 of her. I'm actually running an Orochi because I rolled one. But 2 Echidnas at max skill are pretty good for this team. Well, here's a team that uses 3 Echidnas. I want to do a video on this team in the future because I think it's pretty fun. There are a couple Goemon teams that run Echidna. They do the no recovery Goemon with Satan, and they put Echidna in there for delay if you ever need the delay to succeed with a Goemon team. So that's one for that. Satan teams don't really use Echidna, but there is a guy, a YouTuber by the name of Shellmore, and he's a non-in-app purchase Satan player, and he likes to use Echidna in a Satan team. There is a Zayrog team, doesn't use her. Healer teams use Echidna because she is a healer. Team 9 is a wood team, doesn't use it. That is a Pandora team I was working on. And here's a Shiva team that I currently run Echidna on. I'm running Echidna in the Shiva team because I don't have this Sonya max skilled. I don't have any skill ups on Shiva. So her delay allows me to charge up Shiva's skill because he has a cooldown of 22 right now. So that's an example of how her delay can help out the other monsters on the team by charging up their skills. Also, it is worth mentioning that the ultimate evolution of Echidna farms plus eggs very fast on 5 times technical dungeon days. I did a video about it a while ago, and I'll put a link in the description for you to click and watch if you haven't seen it already. But overall, Echidna is one of the best monsters you can obtain in the early game, and she still retains her usefulness during the mid and late game. I would recommend getting at least 2 of her, and max skilling at least 1 of them if you can. And I believe that is all I wanted to talk about regarding Echidna. A lot of people know how good she is, but at the same time, a lot of people are new to the game and do not know how good she is. So I figured this video would help a lot of the newer players out and give them a little insight on what kind of monsters to look for. I would like to thank each and every one of you for watching my video. Leave a comment if you wish, I read all of them, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.